Good howdy, folks. I'm James Blackburn, filmmaker, actor, and adventure seeker. I live in the American Southwest, and I'm surrounded by breathtaking landscapes and endless possibilities. My passion? Capturing life's beauty through lens and screen. From Red Rock Canyons to Hollywood movie sets, I'm always on the move. Join me on my video adventures as I navigate the wilds of the entertainment industry and the great outdoors. Let's explore together.
Leaving the city behind. Our adventure begins with a simple 1-hour drive from Albuquerque. You start on Highway 550, rolling past mesas, arroyos, and wide open desert. And then, as if on cue, you turn onto a dirt road that leads you into the heart of the Ojito wilderness. Now, when I say dirt road, I mean classic New Mexico dirt road. Most of it's friendly enough, but there's a few patches where a little clearance and a 4x4 are more than just a good idea. They're peace of mind. You can feel the world shifting as the pavement gives way to dust. The sounds fade. The air feels older. And suddenly, you know you're not in the city anymore. This is where the wilderness starts to whisper.
Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. Today's going to be a fun episode. First, let me introduce you to my good buddy Don here. You might recognize him from a few other videos that we've done together over the last few years. What do you think, Don?
Hi.
We are at the Ojito Wilderness today, and it is my 9th year being here, and this will be the 9th annual overnighter. And Don's got his own pack ready to go.
My first overnighter.
First overnighter on a backpacking trip. So that's going to be kind of fun. We're going to head out and down the trail here in a minute and just see where it takes us. And as I say in every video, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and here goes the single step. The Ojito Wilderness beckons and calls us to cross the road to the official trailhead. So here we go.
Welcome back, everyone, to another James Blackburn experience. Today's episode is a special one because it brings together a rugged landscape, an old friend, and a brand new adventure. All right, first hoodoo, about a quarter mile in, maybe a little less. We stop and get a shot of it because it's beautiful. We hit the trail with no fixed plan for where we'd camp for the night, and I love that. Some of my favorite memories are found on trails where the only plan was, let's see what we find. Half mile in, we reached our first landmark, a place I call the Wave. Layered sandstone, shaped by wind and time, rising and swirling like frozen ocean currents. It's hard to walk past this place without stopping, so we did. We explored, we filmed, we photographed, trying our best to capture something that can never truly be captured. We're heading into the Ojito Wilderness, one of my favorite places on Earth, and joining me on this journey is Don, a longtime friend, but a first-time backpacker. That's right, his very first overnighter in the wilderness. There's nothing like watching someone discover the wilderness for the first time. It's like seeing a beautiful place through brand new eyes. And this trip, it turned out to be something truly memorable. You can always tell when someone's on their first backpacking trip. The pack feels heavier than expected, every step is an adjustment, and there's the quiet realization that you are now carrying your entire house on your back. The Ojito Wilderness doesn't scream for attention. It just sits there, layered, weathered, and patient. This land has been doing things for millions of years, and we're just passing through for the night, hoping we don't forget anything important, like snacks. A little farther down the hill, we reach the Hoodoo Pines, one of the strangest and most photogenic areas in the whole wilderness. Towering rock spires, scattered pine trees growing where they have no business growing, and views that stretch to forever. We dropped our packs here and took a well-earned break. Water, snacks, and a chance to laugh about the heat, the trail, and Don's thrift store backpack, which was doing surprisingly well. Sometimes when you're new to backpacking, you don't need the perfect gear. You just need the willingness to try, and Don came with plenty of that.
All right, first mile down.
Yep.
All right, folks, we made it to camp number 1, the Hoodoo Pines area. We took our packs off to take a little break and just assess the situation. Do we want to continue back another mile or so, or do we want to camp here? So we're just going to take a break here for a few minutes and then decide. So, yeah.
After sitting for a bit and taking it all in, we decided to push on. The Hoodoo Pines were nice, but we felt like the right campsite was still ahead of us. So we loaded back up and continued down the trail, exploring as we went, looking for the perfect spot to settle in for the night.
All right, we made it to Skull Rock, about a mile and a half in probably. Look at that, that is so awesome. And we're continuing this way.
We thought we might stop earlier, but nothing felt quite right. So we kept moving, exploring, scanning the terrain, and looking for a spot that felt like home for the night. After about 2 miles of hiking and plenty of wandering, we found it. A beautiful spot right on the edge of a mesa. The view was endless. The sky felt huge. And an old barbed wire fence marked the edge of the area, giving our campsite its new name, Fence Camp.
All right, folks, we found our home sweet home for the night. This little end of the mesa area right here. We're gonna set up some tents, and then after camp is set up, we're gonna go do some more hiking and exploring of the Ojito wilderness. But look at this big drop off over here and the view. How awesome is that? Those are the Jemez Mountains there north of us. Beautiful place.
It had everything a perfect wilderness camp needs. Flat ground, solitude, scenery, a good breeze, and that feeling. You know, the one you get when you just know you found the right place. We unpacked our gear and set up for the evening.
All right, so there you go. Sleeping bag. All right, folks, we've been sitting here in the shade for a little bit.
I brought my trusty Kelty external frame pack, a companion that has followed me through the great outdoors for over 25 years. Don used a pack he picked up at a thrift store, which honestly performed better than either of us expected. We pitched the tents, my old reliable 2-person Walrus, and the 1-person Kelty I loaned Don. He brought his own sleeping pad and bits of gear, and I loaned him a sleeping bag to round out his first backpacking kit. It felt good. Simple, peaceful, and honest. A temporary home built with our own hands. This would be our little piece of real estate for the night. With camp established, we decided the day was far from over. So we grabbed our cameras, our water bottles, and our sense of curiosity, and headed farther back into the wilderness. The Ojito has a way of surprising you around every corner. One minute you're walking through open desert, the next you're surrounded by rock formations that look like they belong on another planet. What I love about backpacking with someone on their first overnighter is watching the shift happen. Somewhere between the trailhead and camp, the noise fades, expectations drop, and the experience becomes real.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Some of these trees are gnarly from just being twisted and turned from the wind all these years. All right, folks, we've been seeing these stacks of rocks for a little while now and kind of following them. We weren't sure where it was taking us, but up ahead, there's like a little canyon or grotto or something that we're going to go explore. It looks really awesome from up here. But let's go down inside and see what we got. Wow. That is some chunky, beautiful rock there. Oh man, it'd be so cool if we found like a swimming hole or something, you know? Oh, there's moisture down here. Not much, but some. Okay. Maybe there's more beyond this spot. I'm not sure, but this is pretty cool.
This is usually the point in the hike where everyone silently does the math. How far have we gone? How far do we still have to go? And whether pretending we're not tired is still convincing anyone. We wandered across hills, washes, and old cattle paths, discovering new shapes, new shadows, and pockets of wildflowers pushing up through the dust. Bright yellow flowers standing proud against the rugged landscape. Not long after, we stumbled onto the remains of an old homestead, complete with a weathered windmill still fighting the wind, still standing guard over the land. We explored the crumbling walls, imagining people who once lived here, their hopes, their hardships, the long quiet days on this patch of desert. There's something humbling about standing in the ruins of a life long gone. It reminds you just how small we all are in the grand timeline of this place. Evening campfire magic. After our hike, we made it back to fence camp and gathered firewood. As the sun dropped lower, the sky lit up with deep oranges and fiery reds, a desert sunset in full glory. There's something deeply satisfying about finally dropping your pack and claiming a small piece of wilderness as your own for the night. It's not ownership, it's more like a quiet agreement. We're here, we'll be respectful, and we'll be gone in the morning. As the sun starts to drop, the Ojito completely changes. The colors deepen, the wind settles, and everything slows down. This is the part you can't rush, and the reason we carry all the extra weight in the first place. We settled by the campfire, letting the warmth soak into our tired muscles. I brought a simple string of lights and hung them around camp, just enough to make the place feel cozy. It gave our rough wilderness site a little personality, a little glow, a little magic. And then, as the final bit of daylight slipped away, the stars came out. Dinner came next. Mountain House dehydrated meals. I went with chicken and dumplings, a classic. Don's meal disappeared so quickly, we never actually confirmed what he picked, but judging by how fast he ate it, it must have been good. The Ojito night sky is something to behold. It's quiet, fast, and dazzling. It feels like the universe leans in closer, like it wants you to see a little more of its secrets. We sat there by the fire, watching constellations slowly drift overhead, laughing, talking, thinking, feeling the kind of peace you can't find anywhere else. Eventually, we turned in for the night. Temperatures dipped into the 50s, perfect sleeping weather. The desert was still, calm, and alive with possibility. For Don, tonight's a first.
First time sleeping out here, first time really hearing how quiet the desert wilderness can be, and once you experience that kind of silence, it tends to stick with you forever. Out here, there's little to no cell service, no notifications, and no real distractions. Just good company, a wide open sky, and the reminder that sometimes the best reset is simply stepping away from civilization.
The next morning, the world woke up slowly. The sun rose over the mesas, spilling golden light across the land. That early glow is something special, soft, warm, and full of promise. We stepped out of our tents, breathing in the cool air, and just stood there for a moment, watching, listening, and letting the world come alive around us. Breakfast was simple but satisfying, exactly what you want on a cool desert morning. Afterward, we slowly packed up our camp, carefully loading everything into our backpacks. No rush, just deliberate movements, one step at a time, savoring every last minute.
All right, good morning, folks. We are here at camp the next morning. We had some wonderful breakfast, and it's the packing up phase. You can see Don's already got his pack out on a big boulder there. He's going to town. We are going to pack up and hike about the 2 miles out to the parking lot. It was a great trip. It was awesome.
All right, folks, it's the next morning. We've had breakfast. We had a morning campfire. Beautiful views behind me. The sun's up in the air. It's about 70 degrees, and we are packed up and ready to head out. So we're going to put on our backpacks and head out that way, approximately 2 miles to the trailhead. It was a great trip. 2 thumbs up.
All right, Don, what'd you think, man?
It was pretty cool. My first backpacking overnight, and it went really good. We couldn't have asked for better weather, scenery. We got really lucky with didn't get too cold, not too windy. Food was good. Went really well. Very happy.
A hike out, slow and peaceful. The journey out was as peaceful as the day before on our way in. Warm sun, cool breeze, and that famous New Mexico blue sky stretching from horizon to horizon. We walked at an easy pace, stopping whenever the land asked us to, for photos, videos, or just another look at something beautiful. There was no hurry, just the joy of walking through a place that feels like home.
The hike out always feels different than the hike in. Your pack's a little lighter, your mind's a little fuller, and the trail feels familiar now, like it knows you. You're not trying to get anywhere anymore. You're just moving through something you've already shared, and it's a beautiful thing. Places like the Ojito wilderness don't try to teach you anything. They don't lecture, they just exist. And somehow in that silence, you start listening more to the land, to the people you're with, and maybe even to yourself. Out here, nature doesn't demand attention, it rewards it. There's a certain honesty that comes from walking side by side with someone for miles. No distractions, no agenda, just shared effort and shared silence. Conversations drift in and out, jokes come and go, and what's left is something simple and real. Friendship doesn't need much out here. It just needs time. Community isn't always a crowd. Sometimes it's just a couple of people agreeing to carry a little extra weight together. You look out for each other. You check in. You keep pace. And without saying it out loud, you understand that nobody's doing this alone. Life is a shared experience, and we are all one big family. For Don, this hike means something different. It's proof that he did it, that the night passed, the gear worked,
And the wilderness wasn't something to fear, just something to respect. Everyone remembers their first overnighter, because it quietly changes what you think you're capable of. Eventually the trail ends, the packs come off, and the world starts creeping back in. But the good stuff, the calm, the laughter, the sense of belonging, that comes with you. That's the real takeaway. Not the miles, not the views, but the reminder that connection still exists, if you're willing to walk far enough to find it. And that's why we continue to come back. This marks my 9th annual overnight trip into the Ojito wilderness. 9 years of sunsets, campfires, hikes, and quiet moments that have shaped who I am. And I plan on coming back as long as my body lets me. There's something ancient here, something deep, something that speaks to the soul. The Ojito wilderness is more than desert and rock. It's history, it's beauty, it's connection. To me, it feels like stepping into a spiritual world that exists just beneath the surface of the modern one. Every visit leaves me with a little more understanding and a lot more gratitude. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Eventually, we reached the trailhead, loaded our packs into the truck, and began the short drive back to Albuquerque. Another adventure complete, another memory adding to the long story of the Ojito wilderness.
Awesome, man. Good job. Good job.
Remember, folks, life is beautiful if you know where to look. So keep your mind, your eyes, and your heart open. It just might lead you somewhere special. Please check out my channel for over 1,000 additional video adventures. Thanks for watching.